future with her would be, yeah. It's hard to say no to her. And a lot of things have changed in the military. From acronyms, virtually everything is different.
What's up, Seekers, and welcome back to another episode of Scamfish presented by socialcatfish.com. On today's episode, we help a 58-year-old veteran named Christy who fell madly in love with a woman by the name of Andrea on Facebook dating. The two have started to plan a life together, and Christy is looking to even get married to Andrea. The only thing holding her back is Andrea's continuous requests for her personal information. First, let's hear what Christy has to say. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your comment and like could help stop someone from being scammed. Let's get into it.
Hi, Social Catfish. I'm Christy. I'm 58 years old. I'm ex-military, so I like to go to the firing ranges. Stationed in Fort Benning, Georgia. Let's just say I can shoot really well.
Christy has been single for quite a while. Her husband of 20 years passed away after being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer about a year ago.
He was one in a million, let me tell you. Wonderful man, very sweet. Lived to make me happy. And we were together for almost 20 years. The first 10 months of his passing I went through hell. I used to have walls up around my heart. Used to have control over my emotions. Well, when he passed, those died with him. And got into the dating thing because I was tired of being alone.
Christy stayed single for 10 months to grieve the death of her husband. All she did was work and was starting to feel alone. That's when she started her online dating journey.
I've always been into women from a very young age. How men got in the woodpile, I have no idea to this day, but there were a couple of them. It was time for me to be happy, so I went on a dating site. Andrea was the first one that I actually let in. The first thing she said, I'm not into flings or like one night stands or whatever. Usually nobody starts with that. And that immediately kind of caught my attention. My reply was, well, that's good because neither am I. Andrea is Belgian by blood. Absolutely beautiful. The first picture I saw of her was in her fatigues. And she made fatigues look really, really good. Been in for 10 years. And she's stationed in Germany right now. It's her last leave, or her last deployment. We talk at least once a day. And when I heard her voice, I actually thought it was adorable. Andrea and I have been talking online for about 3 months now. Pretty much every day, at least once, if not twice. I haven't been happy for a long time until I met her. We both want to spend the rest of our lives together, but she tells me how her day is, whether it's been stressful or not. And vacation was mentioned. Buying a house together has been mentioned, and she also has a 6-year-old daughter. But usually it's through WhatsApp now because there are strict policies for overseas military that you can't do video chat unless you have strict permission to, and that's hard to get.
Andrea and Christy have been in contact for a little over 3 months now. They have a lot of plans for the future together. The only thing in the way is Andrea's deployment to Germany, but why haven't they video chatted?
She says so much has changed, which is true. Since I was in the very early 80s. So much has changed since then. Even the Army, The new Army is nothing like its old Army dogs. And a lot of things have changed in the military. From acronyms, virtually everything is different.
Christy has done a little bit of her own research using our website, socialcatfish.com. A fake dating profile of Andrea under the name Ari surfaced after running a reverse image search.
And then finding another dating site with, I swear is her, under another name. I'm pretty sure it was her. I kind of freaked out a little bit. And I did bring it up to her. At first, her reaction was, "Oh my God, how?" And then it kind of switched to, she laughed and said that is definitely not her.
Things have taken a turn for the worst. Andrea claims she needs all of Christy's banking information, social security number, and a photocopy of her ID so that she can send Christy money while she is deployed.
Well, I started getting suspicious of Andrea when she brought up financial things. And an odd request was for my social security number. And supposedly she is fighting her stepmom for an inheritance that was left to her by her father. She wanted to send the money to me. It's hard to say no to her. Made as many excuses as I could to prolong it. I've sent her my ID. She requested it front and back, which was also peculiar to me, but I sent that instead of my driver's license. Something to do with verification of me is what I was told. So, like I said, I've tried to make as many excuses as I could, but it's wearing a little thin, I'm sure.
The pressure from Andrea is starting to build up. Christy is considering sending her information to help Andrea out. This is when she contacted us to look into things.
Sometimes you just got to take things on faith. It might be stupid, but, what have I got to lose? I don't have really a whole lot. She told me she wasn't real. It would probably shatter my heart. Future with her would be, it's what I would love to have. And if she is who she says she is, I don't want to screw that up. I really don't. If Andrea were to be real, which is what I hope, yes, I would be the happiest woman on this planet. Guaranteed.
After watching Christy's video, we saw red flag after red flag. Our team dug into all the information she provided us with. But before we go further, here's a message from our sponsor. All of the tools and answers that we are able to find in our videos come from our search specialist and website, socialcatfish.com. You can use most of the tools we use and support our team by grabbing a membership for yourself. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your comment and like could help stop someone from being scammed. Let's get into it. It was time to sit down with Christy and let her know what we had found.
I'm getting a sense that you're a little anxious.
Yeah, that, and I would be hoping that she is who she says she is.
You sent us over 3 phone numbers. So these were online phone numbers, which is also considered VoIP phone number, and they ranked higher on the fraud score that we use when we are verifying a phone number. The other phone number, it begins with 731. That was a valid cell phone, wireless phone number found in Tennessee.
Okay.
So I'd like to move on to a profile that you had sent over to us. The woman's name is Ari. From all of the images that you had sent over to us, there are 2 different women in these images. Ari's a completely different person.
Oh my Lord. Okay.
Which leads us into Andrea's images. So we had researched all the images that you had sent over to us. And then after Using our reverse image search tool on our site, we found that Andrea is not the woman in the photos either. So the real woman's name is Yoslyn. Just so you know, Christy, we found hundreds of fake profiles for Yoslyn all over the internet. Yoslyn's real profiles that we did find are marked private, which probably means this has been happening for quite some time, and she's a victim as well in this situation. And so now that all of her profiles are private, that probably means she doesn't want to be found.
We sent you over a link and you sent it over to Andrea, and Andrea clicked on that link and we were able to grab her IP address. Her IP came back to a person living in a city in Nigeria called Abeokuta. Abeokuta is located southwest of Nigeria. It is 77 kilometers north of Lagos. This city is home to the first church and hospital in Nigeria. Abeokuta is also known for being a trade center for fruits, vegetables, butter, and rubber. Once we were able to locate Andrea to Nigeria, it was obvious she wasn't in the military. The document pertaining to her being able to video chat was fake. We did some homework on what exactly has changed in the military. All of them are very taken care of. They have cooks, care packages for days. None of them go hungry. And that's a point I'm trying to prove is that the military has moved forward. Some of the things that have changed in the military is the diversity. So they repealed the don't ask, don't tell policy. This held members of the LGBTQ community from serving at all in the military. The way they train is different. The designated smoking areas has changed. These are all examples of way they've evolved in the military. Back when you were in the military and you were in boot camp, you were probably limited on how many phone calls you could have, right?
Yep, and we didn't have cell phones.
Even a cadet going into boot camp first day, he can have a cell phone. The only way that this person could not be able to video call you is if she was like in the midst of battle for 3 months. It's just not realistic. So her not being able to video chat is setting the military back about 50 years.
You sent us over a military document, I believe. It prohibits the use of video chats, and we were not able to find any matches for this particular document. But we did find something similar, and we'd love to share that with you. It's a document, Title 10 from the Armed Forces, Code 1408, which is a little bit similar to the document that was sent to you, except this particular code only references payment of retired or retainer pay in compliance with court orders. So it's nothing to do with video chatting whatsoever.
I have a girlfriend. We've been together for about 6 years now. I know her favorite color. I know what kind of car she drives. I know where she works. What exactly do you know about Andrea?
Oh, not much. That's part of the problem.
You sent over about 20 screenshots of messages with Andrea, and out of 20 screenshots, there was about 15 of them Andrea was flattering you and then following up with a request for you to open up, a Cash App or a bank account. So there wasn't really much depth in any of the conversations. She would say, I hope work was fine. Did you go get the Chase bank account? And it's okay, baby. Everything will get in place with time. And then, do you have PayPal? I'm not going over a lot of these chats to bring you down or anything, but I just want you to realize what this person is doing to you, Christy. She's love bombing you and then asking you for personal information that can potentially ruin your life, to be honest.
Right.
I just want to run through the things that a scammer could do with a photocopy of your ID. At this point, she has your full name, your address, your date of birth, even your driver's license number. When you put all this information together, it just kind of gives a scammer a jump start to do identity theft. Scammers could open new lines of credits. We urge you to check your credit score daily. Just, you can download apps like Credit Karma. Make sure you're kind of monitoring that stuff.
Christy shared a lot of her personal information with Andrea. Scammers will use your identification to authenticate other accounts for banking and financial institutions, along with social media accounts. Once you send your ID, they no longer need you. If you have sent any of your personal information to anyone online, make sure to file a police report. This will make it easier to combat any unknown lines of credit through your name.
I'm all over the charts right now.
She's going to continue to lie to you, and she's going to continue to ask for Chase bank accounts and cash apps and money, and it's all a bunch of lies, and you could possibly be talking to a guy.
Perfect, of course. I expected it. I did. I just needed verification. I have to get some Kleenex. I'll be right back.
Christy has been attracted to women her whole life. After her husband of 20 years passed away, she became depressed. The thought of being with Andrea kept her happy and believing in this relationship. Scammers target people that have been widowed or in long relationships. Loneliness is the #1 reason people fall for romance scams.
Don't mind if I have a cigarette, would you?
No, do what you need to do. Christy, we are here for you.
You weren't talking to this person for 2 or 3 years. Help me understand what exactly the attachment was to Andrea.
Hope. I've spent most of my life alone, except when I was married. And when he passed, I can't stand being alone anymore. And I'm going to be a mess. I know that. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you, Christy.
Thanks for watching another episode of Scamfish, everyone. Remember, new videos go out every Wednesday. If you or anyone else you know might be going through a scam, please send an email to sharemystory@socialcatfish.com. See you guys next week.